Okay, so before I forget, I started taking these strings off, but I actually want to make sure I film this process, because this is the Guyker guitar they made like a Strat style guitar, and this video is going to be about how I go about changing this guitar. I want to make this a completely black guitar, and I think it's going to handle it pretty well. So I hope you enjoy the journey I'm going to take you on along with me. It's going to be fun, it's going to be wild, or maybe it's going to be incredibly just informative and you know, straightforward. But either way, I think this is going to turn into a really cool guitar by the end of it. Yeah, if you like this kind of guitar now, the way it is, you can purchase it on Amazon. Just look up the Guyker ST style guitar. But I'm going to change it and see what I can do with this. I want to make it like a completely blacked out Strat. So we'll see where it goes, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I just got done cutting this headstock. I didn't really show it, because I honestly just forgot to film it. I forgot that I was doing this for a project, but I kind of cut it in the rough shape of a Fender headstock. My hopes is to get it to look like a Fender headstock. I know it's pretty generic, but honestly it is what sells, and since I'm going to try to sell this guitar, yeah, that's what I decided to go with. So I use this little jigsaw here. It's quite a task. But yeah, I'm gonna go sand it down now and see that process out. Okay, so unfortunately I didn't get to show you the sanding process. It was kind of a haul. It took like 30 minutes for me to sand this thing down, but I got it where I like it. And now I'm gonna finish sanding it the rest of the way. I started using one of these sponges here. I'm just trying to get the finish off because, like I said, I want this thing to be black. So I'm gonna keep on sanding this here and let you see this part of the process because my GoPro died on me. So Okay, so sorry about the mess and everything. I had to do this out in the garage so I don't get anything messed up, but I'm using this poly shade satin classic black. So we're gonna try this out and see if it works. I didn't like how the dye turned out, so let's see if this gets it black. I tested it on the inside pocket, so I know it's gonna at least kind of work. It's the next day. The paint, or the stain, the poly stain, has dried. You can kind of see on camera why I don't love it, but I'm gonna try another coat of this. I won't film it because it's kind of a tedious process, and you know it looks like putting paint on this guitar now. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to see if I can get this coat looking awesome. I'd love to have it a matte black like this right here. This section is just beautiful to me. But if I can't, I don't know. I'll see what this stain can give me, and I'll give you my recommendations at the end or some point in this video. So, okay, so this is after I've sanded it down with, or wiped it down with 4/0 steel wool. Yeah, I actually really like it. The instructions say to do this between coats, so I think I do like it. So if I don't like how that coat turns out, it does make me realize that I can sand this down to a certain level of matting that I want to get out of this guitar. So I'm pretty excited for it. I think it'll turn out pretty well. I have the guitar with its third coat of paint on. As you can see, it's very shiny, so I'm going to try to dull it up with some steel wool. And we have the neck and everything, so I painted like all of this guitar. It's still a little sticky, although I did it last night, so I think I just need to take it all off and whatever. So I'm going to try to steel wool this thing, get it to a good spot where it's a little more matted. I'm going to try to go along with the grain, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, so quick update on this. I've copper taped the inside. I didn't really film the process because I'm not that great at it, and I don't really have much to show other than just like mash it down with a utensil or something. Yeah, so I've copper taped this. I will explain that I didn't copper tape this part because anytime I copper tape these, whenever this nut eventually gets loose and spins, then it'll short out on the copper tape on the inside. So I never really have good luck copper taping these, so I just don't. Yeah, so I'm gonna try putting this thing back together here soon. I have a few other projects I'm doing in the meantime, and I'm waiting on a part for this build, but hopefully I'll get it done soon. And yeah, it's really just me who's waiting on this. You guys will see it all instantly. So cool. my parts in the mail. So, got this new button installed on here. I put different switches on here. I just like the way these looked. I found them in my parts bin. I thought they looked pretty cool with this build. The bubbly ones actually felt like too much down here, so yeah, kind of cool, honestly. Sweet reuse of that. And then I got, well, bam, the black back plate and the input and the nuts. So I'm gonna get these installed. These are the Music Lily ones. It says that they're graphite, but nowhere on this packaging does it say that they're graphite, so we will see. But it came with a sweet, cool pick. You know, I'm gonna use that all the time and not gonna throw it away. But yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna start putting this in the guitar, test it electronically. It's the same wiring as before, except that this kill switch, the other one, came out of the input of the volume knob here and went to, came out of the volume knob here and went into this first, the kill switch, and then went to this. What I've done here instead is I have a different kind of kill switch. So that one's called an NC or NO, I can't remember right now. I'll try to put it up in the video, but this one, as soon as you press it, it brings contact, where the other one broke contact with the line. It was always running, and then as soon as you push the button, then it breaks contact. So it's just different wiring for each. Most switches come like this. It's a much, or at least more common, but it's way easier to wire it the other way around. But this one, you just connect your input and your ground, and then it'll cut the signal. So hopefully this all works. Obviously the wiring looks terrible, but I'm not worried about that right now. I'll clean it up later. But right now I just want to make sure this works. I did not film any of that. But put it back together. I got the whole black plate on there. Man, this guitar is looking tight. Next is going to be the nut, and I'll try to video that. Okay, so here I am being a little bit of a madman. I have the guitar kind of taken apart. I've just had the worst luck with kill switches. I'm trying to go cheap, but now I'm like, I don't know, I just want a kill switch that's going to look good and work well, be easy to push and whatnot. And they're just really tough to find for some reason, unless you want to get like a name brand one, which is 20 bucks, so I guess I'm still being cheap. But I have a lot of switches here, and I thought I'd show this. So I connected these two Guyker clips, red to the hot wire and black to the ground, and they work like this. So that is how I've wired up this to to kill the switch by connecting the ground and hot to kill the signal. So I'll just kind of go through and be testing these one by one and see if they work and sound the way I want them to. Okay, and just so you can see it in practice, I have my guitar pedal down there, and then I have this hooked up here, and just without having to solder, I clipped it all on, and you can hear it. It's not bad. You can kind of hear it. And I got this one, which is its contender. You can still kind of hear a little bit of noise. It's a lot less evident on distortion. So I think this one's my winner right here. Another one I was looking at was this one, which I thought was cool. If you're thinking of getting these, they're all on Amazon. It's kind of fun to test with them. And this one has 2 modes, so it has, shoot, alright, has 2 modes. It has it contacts only whenever I press the button, and then it has the always connected, which is kind of nice. So that's really nice because you can wire this in line going out to your jack. So that's kind of cool. The only thing is it doesn't have a raised button like this. It has a imprinted button. But I'm gonna also test this while I got it. See if a 9-volt will turn that on. Because if so, that'll make me consider these for the future. Final impressions with this guitar. I think it's pretty darn sweet. After getting it all set up and fixed up, putting new parts on, I really do like this guitar. I'll probably keep it for a while, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's really cool. It has some really cool features. I learned a lot along the way. I learned not to cheap out on the kill switch button here, the momentary kill switch button. I also know that if I were to do this again, I'd probably put it right here and replace this volume knob, and then move the volume knob here and the tone knob there. And then I would remove this neck on switch, and I would change that to a different configuration, whether I wanted to do a selector switch that like popped over. I think, oh, what's the name of it? I'll put the brand up on the screen, but one of the selector switches that gives you a little bit more configurations. But the difference was that this is like technically an HHH guitar because it had 3 hot rails that were 2 each. They go in a single coil spot, so pretty sweet. I got this to split the back here, and then I have this to split these two, and then so I can change the way I want it. And if I want like a full Telecaster sound to it, I can have it on the back one here, turn on the neck pickup, and have them both split, and I can kind of get a Telecaster sound out of it. Let's see. But you can't do that with a Telecaster. So kind of fun, but I can also just get straight into metal if I want to. Let's see, I'm in E standard, so you know that's the most optimal tuning for metal. So but pretty sweet. I really like it. Like I said, it does a lot for me that I'm very happy about. There were a few extra parts I had to buy for it that I wasn't expecting. Like for instance, this plate, I didn't expect to buy one of these input jacks, but it's great. Holds the plug very securely. And yeah, just putting different things in here. Like I really liked putting these little springs. Let's see, these little springs in there. I put this spring in the tremolo, so that way when I move this, it holds position. That feels really nice, honestly. And then once I set intonation, it holds. But yeah, altogether, I really like it. It sounds good, feels nice, plays nice. I actually like the neck more now since I've just painted it and stuff. If I were to do this again, I'd probably try to find a stain rather than a stain and poly, which I put on this. But I do, that being said, I do like how this looks over just a stained black body. I like the way this looks a lot more. So I'd probably do the body again that same way, but the neck I would probably just sand and stain it black, just because it didn't turn out 100% the way I wanted it. But I do like the way I sanded it to kind of have a relic feel and look to it, and it feels nice too. Yeah, altogether, it's a pretty solid guitar. I really like it. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's helped you learning things maybe to do with your guitar, if you're thinking of changing things around. So let me know in the comments if you have any other suggestions or things that you liked, and I'll see you in the next one.